Now, as we discussed last week, 5 nationalities caused 3/4 of all of Dubai's road accidents last year. These nationalities were responsible for 1,100 accidents and killed 101 people. Now, more speed cameras, higher fines, and countless safety campaigns have yet to really achieve meaningful results.
Now, one possible solution will take the driver out of the equation. In fact, driverless cars was one of the highlights of Frost and Sullivan's recent Innovation and Technology Summit in Dubai. I caught up with its senior partner and head of visionary innovation and started by asking him just how much potential he saw in this emerging technology.
Driverless cars are absolutely game-changing in the automotive industry. I mean, in future cars could become so light and there'll be absolutely no accidents on the road. So the vision the car industry has of zero accidents can happen with driverless cars. Of course, companies like Google have been the ones who really poked the car industry into making that giant leap. And we will see driverless cars hopefully in the next 10 years.
What are some of the advantages to doing something like this? Obviously, you mentioned less accidents on the road, but is it just about that? Is it financial as well?
Absolutely. So for example, the role of the car will change. You know, you could drive a car when you're tired, you could drive a car at long distances, you could do certain things in the car which you can't do today. For example, you could read a book while the car drives you to work. But at the moment we have a business model of car ownership. With driverless cars, it'll be more a business model of car usership. So you might just text your car to come and pick you up, drive you from A to B, and then it'll go and pick somebody else. 90% of the time the cars are sitting idle. So the utilization rate of cars will grow. So yeah, absolutely, there's a huge business case to having driverless cars.
I imagine some people would be a little bit hesitant, particularly in this part of the world. Do you think people on the roads here really want to be told or taught how to behave on the roads, how to drive?
Yes, you know, if you are a car fanatic like I am, you absolutely want to be able to drive your car, feel the driving pleasure. And that's not bad news with driverless cars, because it might give you the option that you want to drive, and if you're driving a car, it's possible in 10, 15 years, you have a separate lane, and opposed to people who are driving or are sitting in cars which are driverless.
Is this only for the super rich though? What kind of pricing do you think we'd be looking at? Obviously you're saying it's still some time away, but what's your estimation?
Yeah, I think there's a conception that these cars will be so expensive they'll be unaffordable, and that's not the case. I mean, most likely these cars will come in at an extra price of $10,000. That's the kind of price bracket people are aiming for, the car companies are aiming for, and that's very much affordable.
And for the companies themselves, as we mentioned, obviously the likes of BMW, Mercedes-Benz, they've been looking at these systems for some time, been using them, but it's the companies like Google that's really bringing a lot of interest. Should we be suspicious of why a tech company like Google, like Apple, like Microsoft would want to be doing this?
Google wants everything related to autonomous driving sitting in a cloud, whereas the car companies want the technologies to be sitting in the car and the car making that decision. And in a lot of ways, Google is raising suspicions because it's going to be using a lot of map data, it might be using your personal data to do that, but I don't think at the end of the day it's Google's objective to make autonomous cars. They want to make technology that enables autonomous cars. So Google's biggest strength is the algorithms and the software. So
how embedded do you feel technology is becoming in our everyday lives whenever we use the internet for something like this? Google is reportedly looking at taxis, free taxis that are driverless, to come and pick you up and take you to that restaurant, which of course they've advertised in their Google ads.
Then one of the big next trends is connected living. So if you look at our lives today, we have home, we have work, and we have all the environment around us. And all of these three different silos are now connected. But in the future, with connected living, your home, your car will be connected to your workplace, your city, and every facility around the city will be connected. And that's where people, you know, companies like Google play a huge role. I mean, recently they bought a company called Nest, which provides you smart, you know, it allows you to, you know, manage your energy needs. And you'll see black boxes in your homes which will connect everything around your home with one seamless device. So that's all going to happen, and that's where Google really has an advantage.
Do you think that's what people want, being connected 24/7? Do we still want to switch off to get away from it?
Absolutely. I feel in the future not being connected will be a luxury, and we'll be looking at holidays when we are disconnected with the world, for sure. But at the same time, the way our lives are going these days, we want that connectivity because it provides certain efficiency and benefits to us, but also makes our life easier.